This is the UBSC. This one's from SIlverSurfer's garden that was picked by Vincent, Coheed 196, and sent to me by Vincent. And UBSC stands for Unidentified Brain Strain Cross, and these have a reputation for being very nasty. You can see, I hope, well, first of all, what a big pod it is. But you can see, I think, just how lumpy, bumpy, it's not shiny, it's dull. There's bumps everywhere. Oh God, yeah. To me, it looks like a 7-pot barrack pour, but the one that's covered in lumps and bumps like a brain strain. I have no idea if that's the cross, none whatsoever. All we know is that it's a brain strain cross with something nasty. So let's have a quick look inside. Sure, we don't want to be touching this one. Oh God, what a smell. So that smells a lot like a brain strain. It really does smell an awful lot like that. But it's not just brain strain. There's definitely something else in there. And this one has oil deposits all over. So you see all the shiny bits on this one. This is not a shiny pepper with a shiny surface. This is a dull pepper with lots of oil on the surface. And this one is going to hurt, and hurt badly, I think. Hi, Nigel Carter back again. Now that Dexter's no longer on TV, I guess I'm the only serial killer around. And I've already had 2 bowls of cereal this morning in preparation for eating this nasty thing. This is the UBSC, the Unidentified Brain Strain Cross. So I think we're in for a bit of a train wreck here, and as you see, it's a good sized pod. I'm putting it off because I don't really want to. I promised myself I wasn't going to do any kind of super hot today, and I'm just a big fat liar, or delusional. That's what it is. I must be delusional. Unidentified Brain Strain Cross from SIlverSurfer's garden via Vincent, via Coheed 196. Thanks very much, Vincent. Here we go. And it's quite sweet. For super hot, that's quite sweet. It's a little bit perfumey. Just a tiny hint of bitterness, only tiny bit. It's actually quite nice, a little fruity. Oh, I think this is going to hurt. Flavour's not bad. Could do with a bit of acid to bring everything out a bit. And the countdown begins. It's very hot to start with, not much. It comes on quite quickly, and it's coming on like a train now. It's really killing my tongue. Lots and lots of drills straight away. Oh, and it's really coming on. My tongue is just burning, absolutely burning on fire. And there's some in the back of my throat. It's not too bad yet in the back of my throat. I can feel it going there now. Drooling like an idiot. It's a pretty aggressive burn too. It's quite a painful burn. My tongue is just lighting up, absolutely lighting up. It's still coming on. I'm really drooling a lot now. I'm sweating. That's a big pot to get rid of too. I feel it all down my esophagus. But so far it's primarily tongue burn, and it's absolutely frying my tongue. I can't taste anything anymore. And it's moving towards the back of my throat slowly. I'm crying. Yeah, my tears are hot. So I have hot tears, which I haven't had for a while. And it's still climbing. In the phone now, no chance. Oh, that hurts. So it's mainly stayed on my tongue, my mouth. I have some in the back of my throat, but it's not, I mean, it's burning in the back of my throat, but it's not as bad as it could be. But the heat on my tongue is ferocious, absolutely ferocious. And it's a painful burn too. And I think we're just about getting to the top now. Every time I swallow, I get this liquid over my tongue and into the back of my throat, and it hurts like hell. Oh, that's a really hot pot. I would not say that it was hot as a brain strain. It's not far off. But it's a different burn to a brain strain. It's actually more like a barrack ball burn, which is a painful, stingy burn. I'm not saying that this is a barrack ball cross at all. It's also burns very like the Savannah, 7-pot Savannah. And while I have reached the top, it's not going anywhere. It's not going up anymore, but it isn't going down either. And that's a really painful burn. This is going to give me quite an endorphin rush, I think. Yeah, I'm starting to get tingly in my hands. Oh, and I've somehow managed to rub it on across my eye, my forehead and my eyebrow. Genius. It's a much more aggressive burn than a brain strain. Brain strains are just really, really hot. Exceedingly hot. And so's this. But the burn is much more painful. I'm really starting to get very shaky. My hands, my feet, my legs. Yeah, it burns kind of like a barrack ball does. It burns like a 7-pot Savannah does. Kind of like a Mad Balls too, but it's not quite as bad as a Mad Balls. Oh, that hurts. Every time I get that wash of saliva, it really hurts. It's just started to go down now. Oh, bloody hell. Yeah, it's just right out the pain now. The heat's gone down quite considerably, but the pain hasn't. The pain across the tongue and into the back of my throat is really quite considerable. My nose is starting to run. My eyes are tearing up, and I've got hot tears. I'm sweating pretty badly, and I've really started to get something of an endorphin rush, but not quite what I expected. It's not as big as I expected. It's mainly just getting a bit shaky and not so much buzzy, but just a little shaky in my hands, my feet. I feel a little bit lightheaded, but nothing special. And it's really started to diminish now. It's finally started to go away. Let me just try and show you what I mean about it looking like a barrack pour. This is a 7-pot barrack pour. And this is the UBSC. It's a lot more bumpy, the UBSC, a lot more brain strainy in terms of the way it looks and is bumpy. But the shape is really very similar. This is the barrack pour here, and this is the UBSC, brain strain cross. Yeah, it's starting to diminish quite a lot now. It's done its worst, hurt me, and is now going away. That's a really, really strong, aggressive burn. My tongue is just decimated. Still a little back of my throat, but not so much. But I'm crying a lot. My nose is dripping. And I'm sweating a lot. It's really caused all the waterworks to pour forth. It's definitely it's on the way down. It's really appreciable now. So it goes up, sits there, sits there, sits there. Makes you think it's not going to go down, and then finally it nosedives. But as I say, it's a very aggressive burn. Very. I would liken it to a barrack pour, to a savannah. Less so mad balls, but it's the same kind of aggressive, nasty, painful burn as that. I would say it's hotter than a mad balls, but not quite as painful. But it's very similar in heat to a savannah, 7-pot savannah, to a 7-pot barrack pour. A little bit hotter than a Jonah. Jonah doesn't have quite the same effects on me as the savannah and the barrack pour do. Okay, so it's absolutely nosedived off the cliff now. There's almost nothing left. Very little heat, very little pain, and I'm just left to deal with this flop sweat. That's a hell of a hybrid. That's a hell of a pepper. That's a really, really good one. The flavour's decent, little sweet and a little perfumey, but not really in a bad way. Very slightly bitter, but I quite like slightly bitter as a flavour in things, in food. And hot as hell, painful. That's a really, really great pepper. So Vincent, there you go. There's your UBSC, or SIlverSurfer's UBSC, and that's a brilliant pepper. This is Nigel Carter saying thanks for watching me take on a UBSC. I'm not quite sure who won, but I suspect it wasn't me. So I'll see you all again soon, and thanks very much for watching.